Hi everyone, hi. This is my 10 Muses portfolio that I've put together, and this just allows you to do some faces that are easy to put down on your paper, and I'll show you later on how I do that. There's 10 faces, all from my own drawings, and I've simplified them so that you can make them your own. And I'm just showing you some of the ones. This is the one that I'm going to choose to do today in this recording, this video. So I'm just got some watercolour paper, and what I've done is just put it up against the window and traced the face on top of the watercolour paper, ready for watercolours. And I'm using the Pastel Dreams, the Prima watercolours, and I'm just randomly putting over the watercolours. I'm starting off with some light colours first, and then some darks. This is such a lovely set of colours. So I'm starting off with the pinks and just slowly building up a little picture of layers of different pinks to start off with. I'm adding some yellow to that, and I'm almost like mixing the colours on the paper as well. Just see what happens. And I'll get lots of pools of water, and that's okay. That's what we want. And you'll get some nice effects from that. So I've just kept going, and now I've dried it off a little bit, and with the pools of water I've just held it up so they drip down, because I want them to look like flowers or flower stems. And I keep drying in between times. I've been adding some of the Stabilos, the woody Stabilos, the water soluble crayons. So I'm just adding some of them. So their colours are quite intense. So just keep building, drying and building up. And I've made sure that the paint is a bit more drier than it was, and now I want to do a crown on this girl here, so I've just added a bit of sort of yellow gold on top. And here I just sort of flick some watercolours at the side. And now it's time for some collage, my favourite. I love collaging. And I'm using LittleHutArtWorks matte medium gel. And basically I've used my collage sheets. I made these textures up myself and just copied them so that I can use them in my collages. And I just start cutting out shapes, leaves, finding interesting combinations of textures and patterns. This sheet here, just a quick watercolours for a collage sheet so that I can actually cut things out of it. I'm cutting this flower out. It took me a while to decide where to place this one, but I eventually found a spot for it. It's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle where you're trying to find somewhere for your piece of collage work that pleases you, makes you happy. And I've just added tissue paper, the dressmaker's tissue paper, on top of her face. And now I'm just adding details with water-soluble pencils. Got different ones like Caran d'Ache, and I've got Inktense. Got a few different types of water-soluble pencils here. And I'm just adding a bit of water to the side, just to add a bit of depth to this girl's face. And just keep building, layering. I do like to add some pink cheeks to most of my faces. And if you're not happy with something, just blot it off with a bit of kitchen roll. It's easy enough. So I'm thinking of how am I going to do the hair, and I've got some sections of some of the collage sheets that I've made up, and that are darker. So I thought I would add those pieces to make up her hair, and you'll see that I do the hair in, I think it's 3 sections. So I'm really happy the way that it turned out. As you'll see in a minute. I've never done a voiceover before, so I'm just getting the hang of this. So hopefully you're not too bored. So you just cut your pieces of paper, your pieces of collage down to fit where you want it to go. And just keep going. Take it off if you don't like it. Try something else. I'm quite happy with that, so I'm going to stick it down. And I think the next thing I'm going to do is a crown. Maybe not. Yes, a crown. I think she deserves a crown. And once I've got all these layers down, and most of them are dry. I come in with maybe some more collage and maybe some more line work, because usually the line work is the last thing I normally do. And here I'm just trying to figure out, because I think all those lovely watercolour marks and the collage and all the flowers and the leaves looks very much like a sort of dress. So I'm going to give that impression that this is what her dress is made up of. And I just keep going until you're happy. And here I'm coming in with some line work. I'm starting to put detail into her face, and I don't want to overdo it. Sometimes I have a tendency to overdo it and then I lose what I'm trying to achieve. But you can always go back, you can always paint over it, you can always add more collage to try to rectify something that you don't like. So I'm just mapping out here where lines ought to go. Just dry it off a little bit. I think the tissue paper had creased a little bit because some of it wasn't dry. And I've used the LittleHutArtWorks matte gel because it allows you to draw over the top. You can put anything over the top of it. Whereas recently I've been using Mod Podge, and that gives you more of a sort of plastic coat on the top, which is quite nice in some projects, but for this one I want to be able to put things over the top of collage work and any more drawing. So I'm just adding some red to the lips, some more pink cheeks, of course. And I want to maybe start putting in some shadows here and there. I've came down and I'm adding some details to flowers. They're obviously abstract flowers and flowers that don't exist, but in her world they do. And it's great just to make up your own language. So I'm adding some shadows to the face. And this is my favourite bit because she starts to come to life then. She becomes her own character. And I've just added some more stabilos, woody stabilos, and just adding a bit of water, just so that part of her dress fades into the other watercolours. And I quite like the contrast between sort of something that's structural like her face and the watercolour marks and the collage. I like that mixture. So I'm just adding some more pencil work. I don't want to go over her eyes too much. a bit of shadow under the nose and the chin, the neck, so that she just stands out a little bit and her face looks a little bit 3D. I'm adding some green to the side here just to make her pop a little bit more. And our crown, just so it's not too flat. Excuse me. It's just a little dance between excuse me, your paintbrush, your paint, and everything else that you're using. And I'm just adding there some white gel pen to the eye. Just a bit more detail. And I know when I start fiddling like this that I'm almost coming to the end. I know that it's feeling like it's finished. And there she is. I think that's me coming to the end now. I hope you enjoyed this video, this tutorial.